Okay. And I just love the character from League of Legends. So like, okay, I'm gonna call myself Katarina, and Katarina is taken. So let me call it Katarina One. Oh, it's worked. So I took Katarina One.
Cool.
How many characters
Yeah.
do you have?
Only Katarina One.
Oh,
The
nice.
one and only, huh?
Yes, only one.
Have you even tried like picking an alt or going with an alternate, with another character?
Or another faction, even.
Um, I'm Timbler, and I'm not gonna change that forever. The second
Yeah.
thing, yes, Timbler forever.
Good choice.
And,
Good choice.
and the second thing is, I just like to level like an alt from any games. I just love to play only in my main and working so hard on it. Because if I'm gonna play an alt, I have to do like again the same stuff, and like gearing, get stuff, farming. I don't like that, so I'm just gonna focus in my main and gonna stick on it.
Well, I do have to say, I'm a Templar, and I'm proud. Oh, sorry. No, I'm not. That would be just really low.
I was
I
like,
am Illuminati.
seriously?
I'm an Illuminati, and I'm proud of it. But from one guy to another guy, I have to say that your butt and your chest looks really good in that outfit.
Oh, you like my butt, Ryan, right?
Oh yes, we love your butt. And
Oh my God.
I always use Griff as a scapegoat on this one because because she's a girl, so me and her had this girl talk about your boobs on a couple shows ago, and
Oh, yeah.
they
totally.
look
Yeah,
they look
yeah.
really good in that suit too.
I love that. I love that outfit in the white color. I was seriously considering purchasing it.
It is
Yeah,
tempting.
but then it was like,
You totally have the whole boob physics happening. So like when you bounce, it actually bounces.
That's why I'm beside you, see?
Oh, you want to bounce all over me?
Yeah.
It was all part of the plan.
And someone you didn't hear before has also joined us. It is Gigabyte.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How's your little one?
Fed and changed.
He's late because of a little one. Yes, because of Mini Bite.
Yeah, afraid so, but yes, he's all sorted now.
Mini
So,
bite
Cat-
needed a megabit.
Back to Cat. Cat, have you been in a game since beta, or when did you first start playing the game?
I tried this game in beta for like a couple of weeks, and then I took a break. Okay, then I start like to play like 100% at 2012. Like I've been here for like almost 3 years.
Nice.
So yeah, I tried like in beta playing like missions and testing this game like at the start. Then like I took a break, just like a few months. Like okay, let's back to this game. I really like it. Then like I start playing it forever.
Oh, nice. Well, I know you mentioned the investigative quest a little while ago. How do you feel in general about the story quests, and do you enjoy them as much as you do dungeons and raids? And that question was from Cookiebook.
The story, like at the start, I tried investigation mission and it was really hard. So like, I can't do this mission. Like I always skip the investigation first because it takes like an hour or more than that. But the story, yeah, I do like the story. So like, when I do missions, main story, I always turn on my sound. And by the way, when I play any game, I always turn off my sound, but only in TSW when I do like missions. But I cannot compare mission to dungeon because my main is PvE dungeons, But I do like dungeon, then the story. I always focus on dungeon first, PvE, then the story. But yeah, like the story, it's really got me like interested here in TSW, especially in issue 12, issue 10.
Issue 12 or issue 11?
Issue 11, sorry.
I was like, do you have access to
Yeah.
something we don't?
He came back from the future.
No sneak peek, no sneak peek.
Would you like to, though? Do you go to Test Live and check out the new content before it's released?
Yeah, I tried the new dungeons for issue 12, and I tried all of them. I do like the mechanic, and they are elites, not nightmare. And it was really a little bit hard, and you need a mechanic, like you need to communicate with your team. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I,
good.
I tried all of them. Yeah.
What did you think about the penthouse mini dungeon?
The penthouse. Penthouse, like, it's the awesome dungeon in this game at the start. It was challenging. Like, I started to do it first, and we've been wiping forever. Like, we tried to figure out the mechanic and how we do it with ages and stuff. It's really hardcore, really very hard. Like, you can't finish it if you're gonna communicate with your team. But Tilty nerfed that dungeon, and now it's so easy. Like, I'm not enjoying in Myth House now because the nerf, you can like do it really easy.
That's
Um,
just the last part, though, isn't it? The only change was to the amalgam
Yeah.
itself, the filth spider. The rest
The
of
last
it
part,
hasn't
yeah.
been
That
changed.
was actually supposed to be like this in the first place.
mhm.
Tilty explained that, yeah, but you liked it better when the mistake was there and it made it that much harder.
But seriously, like when Tilty said we're gonna release many dungeons and it's gonna be really hard, I said like, okay, let me give it like a chance for Tilty, for a new dungeon. I tried that and it was really amazing, really got my interesting because I wiped there for 17 hours at the start, by the way.
What?
Oh
Yes,
wow.
and the last
17
bugs, yeah.
Hang on, are you talking about the penthouse or the issue 12 one?
Penthouse. No,
Penthouse.
Penthouse.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you guys, after 17 hours, did you finally beat it?
No, because we were like not my group. It was a friend group, like trying to figure out the tactic and the mechanic. We got it, but we can't finish it because the boss really hit hard, so hard we can't heal it.
Would you say that one was like the hardest one for you to learn, or was there another one that was even harder in the game?
At the moment, Penthouse. It's really the hardest dungeon. Yes, it's still. Because like okay, I do nightmares. Okay, the normal one, the old nightmares. I enjoy them, but when you do Penthouse, this is seriously different. Like it's not nightmare. It's like heroic. They can't call it heroic, to be honest.
And what was like previous to the release of Penthouse? What was like your most favorite dungeon?
Favorite dungeon? There's two of them: Hellfallen and Vitality. Those my favorite dungeon. Really, I enjoy them.
Any particular boss?
For Vitality, the fifth one, it's the best boss in Vitality because one mistake, you're gonna wipe the group, and the works depend on the tank. And I love tanking Vitality, especially the fifth boss, because you have to control the ads, to control the filth placement. And like one mistake, one glance, you're gonna wipe. That's why like I like this tactic in Vitality. And for
Sweet.
Hellfallen, for Hellfallen, the third one and the last one, and as a tank too, because
Yeah, the
you-
most difficult ones.
yeah, but with practice, it's going to be real easy. You have to understand the
is.
mechanic, yeah.
Yep.
And so the third one and the last one is really perfect because I'm doing it with a tank and Soul and Bear. This is really enjoyable there in Hellfallen. That's why this dungeon really is the best for me.
So while we're talking about Facility, a bit of a story time here. The first time that I really remember playing with Cat in game was I joined him in Facility for number 5 and then number 6, and it was the first time I'd ever been into Facility, and I started at number 5. So I ended up getting my Karma Curio without beating every single nightmare boss, thanks to you, Cat. So cheers.
Awesome.
That was 3 years ago, by the way.
Oh yeah, it was a while back now. And that was when you were just starting to do heal tanking, is that right?
Yes, I started heal tank in Vitality.
Wow.
It was my first time, man. Like, oh, let me heal tank Vitality. Let me try that. I tried the fifth one and the last one. It was really wow. And here, like, I create like, oh, let's create like heal tank for other nightmares too.
Are you able to heal tank all the dungeons now?
Yes, all the dungeons, Neocrate, and the Layrite.
What about the penthouse? Can that be
Wow.
done?
The penthouse, I heal tank only the last boss. The first one and second one, I didn't try them yet. I want to, but I'm like busy with other stuff, you know. But the last one is
Actually-
a really good one.
Actually, come to think of it, if anybody in chat is kind of unfamiliar with that, can you give them a quick explanation of what heal taking is?
Heal tank is heal tank is you're gonna tank, heal, hold aggro in the same time. So you don't gonna grab a healer, so you will get 4 DPS and you're gonna heal and tanking at the same time for all dungeons. So the all the group gonna depend on you. If you failed, they're gonna wipe. That's the heal tank in general. Nightmares.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to lose your heal tank.
Yeah, because the rest, out of 4 members of the group are DPS, and they're going to be at
Yeah.
1970. No one can stand any kind of hit. They're all just going to one shot. So it's like
Yeah.
wipe.
Exactly.
Yeah, FC Damachi in chat says nerf cat 1.
and the good part is, you know, people like blaming the healer or the tank in the dungeon. So you are heal tanking, so you're gonna get the blame anyway. That's why.
So if something goes wrong, who do you have to blame?
Blame me.
DPS.
No, blame me.
Yeah.
You blame the lag,
Blame-
right?
Oh, the lag. Oh my god, this lag.
Yeah, one of the questions
Yeah.
was, do you get lag? Do you experience lag in the game?
The lag
Or is it just spikes?
both of them. I have really huge lag issue on TSW because I live really far away and TSW has US server, you know, and I'm getting like 300 ms all the time, 250, 300, and there's too much delay when I do like DPS or heal tank or anything. There's too much delay and that's really annoying me. But I used to because I've been playing with this lag for like over 6-7 years from other MMO, you know. So like, oh, I'm fine. I really like the delay.
Oh, on the
Yeah,
subject of
you get
lag,
used to it.
You're the first
Yeah.
person that likes
Yeah.
lag. Congratulations.
on the subject of lag, there, do you have any like special equipment you use to game, like fully decked out PC, gaming only, like keyboards, mice, stuff like that?
Yes.
What do you play with?
I have.
How do you play?
Yeah, I have like mini keyboard, and I have a main keyboard in my hand. It's gloves, by the way.
It's a
Mhm.
what?
It's a glove called Birdrine. You can use a keybind in by your hand. You know, there's a glove, USB
Okay.
glove. Yeah, so you can use a keybind, and you can use your buffs. So you can just, you know, use your thumb, your finger, to use any ability if you
Interesting.
want.
Nice.
I have
So-
something.
Very nice.
I have something similar to that. It's the Razer Naga Epic, and I have all 12 of my power buttons right on my mouse itself.
Yeah, I want to get the Nostromo.
Yeah, I tried that. I can't really game with
I
that.
I tried that too. I think my hands are too small for it to really work well for me, so I had to go and get a mouse with the extra buttons instead.
So like you can use this glove and using your keyboard too. So you have 2 keyboard, one from your hand, other keyboard is your main keyboard, the normal one. So you can like, you know, use too much keybind and it's really faster, you know what I mean? And you can check in the lobby. I sent something for my
Oh,
glove.
that's actually really cool. I like the idea of that. Just look at the link you posted there.
Siridi, Siridi says, I have something similar too. It's called a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, I posted that in the Twitch, the glove. So
Nice.
they're gonna call me a hacker now. I know. Yeah.
Call you Johnny Mnemonic.
Well, pretty much.
That's cool. I like that.
I bet you it makes
Yeah.
it really hard to eat potato chips and drink refreshing ice cold lemonade with that.
No, you can drink. It's fine. It's really cool. Like you're not gonna feel it. You can drag, you can press your keyboard, anything. It's like really, really not heavy glove. Really, it's so light.
I would really, really be interested to try it. It's almost
Yeah.
like,
He wants to
futuristic
try your
way of
glove.
gaming. Oh, shut up.
I'm reminded of the Nintendo Power Glove all over again.
I know. Switch it to turbo.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
It's so bad.
So, Kat, you mentioned you just kind of were interested in finding out whether you could heal tank, combine those two roles. What's your end goal with TSW? Do you want to be the best that ever was when it comes to the game, or maybe you have another goal? What is that?
That's a really good question. I have like two goals, to be honest, in this game. First goal, I like to do stuff that's no one done it before, like new stuff, like creating a new mechanic, creating new build, new stuff, and new meta actually. This is like my goal in this game, like leaf tanking, hill tank, like new things. The second goal is I want to get sponsored from Fancom. That's my goal.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
What,
I'm
as
really
in what,
trying hard.
promoting the game or playing the game? In what sense to promote, to get sponsorship from them?
Yes, promoting the game, like, sharing the videos and advertise, the game and stuff like that. Like, I love this game, so I want to really make it really better for all. Like, when new player gonna join, they can see like some videos, cool videos, because I get like tone of whisper, like new player, hey, I like this video, hey, I like this video, keep it going and stuff like that. So like, oh, I like it. So that's why like I kept going to make videos for, for community.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of people do look up to you, and for some people, you're a bit of a role model. Has that affected you in any way? Like, does being put on a pedestal make it harder for you to make mistakes?
Mistake like of what exactly?
Well, I suppose being a role model, some people would expect you to be perfect all the time. Is that any sort of pressure on you at all? Or do you just really
Um,
enjoy helping people?
I enjoy because I like people like doing different stuff. They like not just like normal, and like they support all the time. So I help them. Like, okay, try this one. It's really new this game. Try this one, and you're gonna love it. And they love it, and they want more. So like, okay, I can help them because I love this game, and like I want to do something for them. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Does it
So,
mean you have to always be on your absolute best behavior, though?
hmm.
Like, do you have to be politically correct with your answers? Like, someone bugs you to help them with their build or something, and you're really tired, you want to log off. Do
Well,
you that kind of a thing?
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, like they do that all the time. Like they want, like, let's say for nightmares, I want help for stats, build, mechanic, anything for everything. Sometimes I log in just to answer the tills. By the way, like I'm
Wow.
AFK. Yeah, just like AFK in Agartha all the time. I'm just like respond to the tills because sometimes I get 200 tills, and sometimes in the private message in the farm, like, oh, okay, so they need help. I'm gonna be online.
I often see you as standing in Agartha on your little spot there near the London portal. So if you're answering builds, how do I get to do a 50k transfuse anima? The best I've been able to do so far is 27k, so how do I maybe double that?
The 50k, that's really low, by the way, as I can do like 70k.
Well, 50,
So you gotta
50k is the
triple
highest
it.
I've seen you do.
Well,
I'm sure you've done higher though.
well, for this, it's gonna be a long answer because first you need a main weapon. Okay, like let's say like leech. Okay, you wanna boost your transfuse anima for high get hit. So you need a rifle and you need a secondary weapon. to support your rifle. So I was using Fist. Why? Because there is too many active to boost your transfuse enemy, like percentage damage. Let's say like Reckless and Tear 'em Up, and I'm using full damage percentage passive, like Seal the Deal, Lethality, everything. And as you know, transfuse enemy is the second best consumer in this game, by the way, for the highest hit, because you have too much active to boost this damage. So like when you do nightmares using buff shorty fuse and with the breaching signet using all your active, you're gonna get the highest hits from nightmares, and especially if you have really good augment.
So you use Seal the Deal instead of Experience?
Yes, Seal the Deal. Because Seal the Deal is the best for short fight, and it has really like more damage, So I'm using Energize, Reckless, Tear 'em Up, all passive damage, and Seal the Deal. So you're gonna get like around almost 300% damage, for your transfuse enemy.
And you'd also be using gadgets as well?
Yes, gadget, full crit power, and the stats too. So you need specific stats. So you need really high crit power, like more crit power, that's mean more damage. So like, okay, full crit power, and you're gonna get the highest hits from nightmares. And for example, for like your drug, you can get like 90k transfuse enemy there, double of them, like 90k with Lock and Lot, 90k again.
And what augment do you put on your transfuse?
I bought Grievous level 5.
Oh, so that's something we can all just do, then, isn't it?
Something to work towards.
Yeah, I don't even have it on level 1.
Oh, yeah, I've been farming that for like a month non-stop in Scenario.
Do you still do scenarios at all?
At the moment, no, because I've been farming Scenario for ages and always really bad drop. So like, I'm gonna quit Scenario. I'm not gonna do it again. So I'm just buying augment. That's all, like in a Garthor in the Action House. But Scenario, I don't do it. Only like if I'm really, really bored. If nothing to do. So like, I'm gonna do one Scenario only. Let's see.
So you're not taking on the RNG in scenarios, huh? Not anymore.
Yeah, because I spend like a whole day, like 24 hours, farming Scenario, and nothing interesting drop. Always
Seriously,
blue
not
and
even
green.
one yellow?
Nothing. I swear to God. That's why I'm gonna
Wow.
quit Scenario. Yeah.
First off, the fact that you did scenarios for like 24 hours is like, wow. And then seriously, nothing of significance dropped?
Yeah,
Wow.
no wonder why you can't stand to do them anymore.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
That takes some dedication as well, man.
Yeah, I took a break from this game for like one day because of Scenario. Like, I'm gonna take a break after that, really.
When you said you took a break, I was expecting like 2 or 3 months. And then when you said one day, I was like, what? Really? That's all? Because people get ticked off at scenarios or something else far too, far on the lower scale than that. And they quit the game for like months at a time or never come back. So it's good to know that even though you get ticked off with something, you come back after just 24 hours.
Oh yeah. It's like, okay, I could one day take a break one day. Then like after the day, like, oh wait, I wanna log in again. I really wanna do some nightmares. Let me log in then. I can't like quit for like a month, because I really enjoy playing TSLE.
I just love the fact that it was scenarios that made you take a break.
Point.
For all you do, this scenario's for you.
So what do you
yeah,
consider? What do you consider to be the absolutely most powerful deck in the game right now?
For a DBS,
Yeah.
there's too many. But for my personal build is Leech, Hammer, and Rifle. This is the best build in this game, by the way.
Hammer and rifle, how does that work?
Yes. This is the highest DBS Leech in this game, and you can beat the all DBS all the time if you want. If you know the rotation of this build and the mechanic, You can beat everyone in this game.
So did
I'm
you actually
guessing-
include that in the Ultimate High DPS guide? Or is this something new?
Yes, because you can leech and you can DPS. You can be a support leech, like support healing. You can use this build as a DPS, full DPS, you know, and you can target the tank because you are using a transfuse enema. And if you want to go leech, you can go leech. So it's hybrid, it's full DPS, and you can be like leech full DPS too. And like few people using this build because they don't know how to use the rotation, because this build has really low healing. So it's always focused on damage, like 99% damage, 1% healing, that's all. And this build is the best build in this game.
Would that only be useful for short fights then with such a low healing? Could you use it for a longer fight?
Yes, for a long fight. Yeah, for a long fight, it's fine. Like, you have to communicate with your tank. Like, you have to call, like, leech if the tank needed, or karma clear. So you have to talk with them, you know, like, use karma now, or use leech potion. So he can support you, so he can go full DPS, you know, you're not gonna care about the heal, just burn. So, like, imagine 1 tank and 4 DPS in the group with high DPS leech, you know, and like this build can do like 20k damage in short fight, 20k DPS really easily.
Cool. So you may have like many favorite builds or builds designed for a specific boss encounter or a specific kind of group. But if you had to stick to only one from now until forever, Cookie Book wonders which build would it be and why?
Which build? I think the same one, the hammer rifle, and I'm always using it. But for the second build, I can say shotgun, shotgun blade or shotgun blood. Shotgun blood, yeah, this is my favorite build. It's a really interesting one. I like it. But the top one, for my opinion, is hammer rifle. This is just wow, really just wow.
Now everybody in the game is going to try looking at those two weapons and coming up with builds.
I mean, yeah, I have enough trouble keeping a basic blood rifle leech, you know, rotation. I'm rubbish at rotations. I find having to count to 7, even with the various UI updates, just to get, you know, my transfuse on, you know, to force crit it. I'm gonna have so much trouble trying to play around with a rifle hammer build. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, like the rifle blood is for sustain heal, can do really good DPS and has really good healing too. So this is for like for beginner and mid player to use this build, and I still using it. I really like it, and it really works perfectly in Neocryte too.
So who or what inspired you to popularize the heal tank and like leech tank type builds?
For the heal tank, it's like, okay, I joined like Nightmares with Bugs Group, okay, for like a long time ago. And I see some people like complain about how the tank placing the boss, you know, like to the wrong position, and really some people like doing low healing, and they complain each other, like they blame each other, Nightmares. And like, okay, so in TSW you can do everything you want. You can do hybrid and you can do whatever you want to. So let's say like, okay, I'm gonna do like heal tank. So I start heal tank first in Fatality, and it works really fine. So okay, let's take it up to the next level. Let's do it in 18 first. And I was like, you know, fixing the rotation and stuff like that, and I got it. So been working on it. And when I see people like talking about the hybrid build, and I figured out heal tank. And also like I talk with many people about this build before, like to fix it, like to improve it. Like I get many idea of them, like you can use this and this and this. So like took me like really too much time to improve this build, and that's why like I got it. Like you can do, you know, every role in once, like tank, healing, impair, survive, just like in one time.
Nice, nice. So on the subject of like nightmare dungeons, what boss fight did you find the most difficult to leech tank?
The boss fight. It's Slaughterhouse 6, the last one.
Alright.
Because
that one?
Because in the top and the bottom there are two phases, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and the problem with this boss, he do magical hit, so you really hard to mitigate this damage. Even if you have really a lot of block, he still like do really high hit, like physical hit, you know. So I don't use a magical protection to mitigate his damage, the auto attack. So that's why you're gonna get really high damage, like 2,000 per second. And the problem with this boss, he has really a lot of defensive. So sometimes you glance a lot and you're not gonna get any heals. So that's why it's really hard. And especially in the bottom, the second phase, he hits you non-stop. So you don't have any free second to heal yourself. So you have to keep leeching. If you stop 1 second, you're gonna wipe the group. And that's why this is really the hard boss for leech tank. And like if you want to learn how to leech tank, I always recommend it. Go to the Slaughterhouse last boss and learn how to like leech tank there.
It's like it's the gatekeeper for leech tanking, huh? If you can pass that one, you can pass
Exactly.
every single one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
as a healer myself, there is nothing worse than glancing a well, you can't. I suppose you can't glance an Ellie forced transfuse, but you can have it blocked. I imagine as a leech tank, that'd be even worse. It'd be over.
But you know what? As a leech tank, we know for tanking you need to keep aggro, and there's like with just a regular tank, if you have a high hitting DPS, they can take away aggro from the tank. Now, if you're doing leech tanking, how do you keep aggro on the rest of the high hitting DPS in the group? What abilities do you use? What augments or signets?
There is like rotation for every boss. So like, okay, if you want to engage the boss and you know your group does really very high DPS, so like you have to keep aggro. So I start first with the Transfuse Anima to keep aggro at the start. And remember, I'm ranged, so I can build my Elemental Force to 8, you know, before them. Because I do like Enemy Shot, Transfuse Anima, then Enemy Shot spam in range. And then I can use Soiticism to keep aggro. And there is like a new gadget, you know, it's called Agitation Configuration, you know, so you can use this to keep aggro. But if you don't have this, you can use Soiticism and do Transfuse Anima on EF, and you're not gonna lose aggro. And you have to be really fast. You have to understand the rotation, because if you're gonna do spam Enemy Shot without escalation from Chaos Weapon, you're gonna lose aggro. So you have to use both of them, escalation, Enemy Shot, and don't be really slow. But at the start, you can engage with Transfuse Anima, so you're gonna get guarantee aggro at the start. And Soiticism does the work because you're not gonna lose aggro from Soiticism. That's why like I really love this ability for leech tank, and you can use it.
Wow,
Well,
there's.
speaking
Oh, go right ahead.
just speaking of abilities, what do you think is the most underestimated ability in the game then?
This question's really hard. But there is one ability. It's elite passive. It's called Clothing for heal tank. Like everyone really dislike this passive Clothing because they dislike it for leech tank. For heal tank, and they don't use it. But this ability really overpower in this game. If you know how to use it, really overpower. And how I heal tank all nightmares by this ability.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes.
Do you use
Nice.
the protection side of it, or does it just really get you a lot of extra shields?
Extra shield. You can mitigate really high damage. If you see the Eurodrug, I absorb 8,000 damage from Eurodrug in Nightmare by this ability.
What? Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like there is like a rotation for it. if you succeed to do it, you're gonna be immortal. Heal tank, really. You're not gonna die. You're really not gonna die.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say is that you have to, as a leech tank, you really have to pay attention to what the boss's abilities are, what kind of effects they have on a tank, and you need to adjust your builds accordingly. There's no one cookie cutter build that would create this high DPS even as a leech tank, right? So you have to adjust, you have to not only your abilities but your rotation. So it's like you need to work in different things at different times in different ways in order to be successful at this, what has said, how do you achieve the 50k transfuse?
Well, and I love hearing that too, because you hear people sometimes, oh, all of these abilities are useless, or these signets over here are useless. And I'm always like, well, I'm sure there's situations where they would be useful.
Oh yeah, for this one, like how I'm gonna answer this. So for like nightmares, okay. There's some people, they dislike some abilities for heal tank. Like, I don't want to use this, I want to use something else. But wait, if you're gonna use this ability, you're gonna do heal tank nightmares, and you need to practice. So like, if you are a DPS, you never tank a nightmare, and you want to heal tank, you cannot do that because you have to start from level 1, tank, then like heal, then heal tank, hybrid. You cannot start like from level 0 to level 3 immediately. And you have to understand the all mechanic from all bosses. And you need a specific rotation for every boss. And if you did one mistake, that's gonna cause a trouble for you. Because you don't need to waste your cooldown. Because I know some people, when they start heal tank, they use all the cooldowns, like defensive cooldown, barrier potion, and stuff like that. And they don't need to do that because they have to practice at the start. And for like heal tank nightmares, I spent like a lot, like a year, to improve myself as heal tank, because you need to practice. And I'm still practice, always testing new stuff. And like for peoples, you have to check your rotation. And I post all the rotation in my guide, and they should follow it. Because if you're gonna do your own rotation and you're gonna fail how to use your cooldowns, you're not gonna do heal tank nightmares, because you have to understand what you are doing first and which boss you are tanking, face tanking it. Like Slaughterhouse, here you need specific rotation. One mistake, you're gonna die. That's why, like, you need really a big practice all the time.
Cool. So, like, how many builds do you have?
Oh, how many build? I'm gonna check now. Wait.
You spent a lot of money on buying the extra spaces.
Well, I have full space, and I have another add-on with some build and still full. I think I have around like 200 build, I guess.
So you have like all the builds.
All the build, like any build I can link it to you. Because I love, yeah.
What kind of names do you give them? I was just wondering, because finding out what people name their builds is like naming their children.
Yeah, I name some of them. Like for heal tank, I name them like a Japanese name, And for like, let's say scenario, there is a build I call it like Sparta. Never die there,
Why do you call it that? What inspired
because,
you to call it Sparta?
Because Sparta's rock, and they have one goal, and they never die. Like they really, really, really strong. And when I do like, let's say like solo something, I wanna farm something, so I use the Sparta build and like never fall back.
I half expected you to answer because this is
Sparta!
TSW!
Oh, TSW, yeah.
So out of curiosity, what was your most enjoyable achievement in the game as like an endgame player?
Achievement. And I still enjoy this. It's 3-man New York Raid. This is the biggest challenge for me. A personal achievement for my group too. And the 3-man New York Raid I like because with my group, they stood with me a lot and they never gave up. Like I told them, we have one goal, we have to finish it, and we spent like a month, 2 months, 3 months to do 3-man Ukraine, and we improved so much well, and we never gave up. Like we spent like let's say 12 hours in Ukraine, and we're still vibing in first phase, and they keep saying, we're gonna do it tomorrow. We're not gonna give up. We're gonna do it. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. And we done it like at the end. And this is like, I can't describe it really how I feel about the 3-man, but really, really, this is the amazing thing I done with my group in TSW. This is really perfect.
So how long did it take you to actually theory craft before actually getting into the raid? Because when I watched it, it was just like, wow, this is poetry in motion. And then you released that funny moments video as well from and
Yeah.
what was so funny about that one is how the time progressed as you guys were, getting closer or getting further and further into the raid, getting closer to the end. The more serious you became, the more frustrated you became, eventually destroying a keyboard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I
that-
loved how you opened up your friends list. You're like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
this one.
ignore them all.
Well, the 3-man, we do like theory crafting for everything. DPS, leaf tank, tanking. So we have to do like to cross the limit. Like we need high DPS. We need to survive because 3-man is not really easy because you can lose aggro at any time. You need more DPS. You need cooldown from your provoke. You need Mercurial augment. Without Mercurial, you're not gonna do it. And you need a lot of stuff like tanking, physician, killing ads, and like teamwork. Actually, it's teamwork. So there is like we enjoy it. We're not taking it really serious all the time. So we enjoy it, and sometimes we take it really serious. Like you hear my keyboard.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So so we
Man,
spend a lot.
I've lost 2 keyboards and I haven't even been to 3-man raid. Okay. And that was simply because it was like, why won't you fire? And it was like, yeah, you're pressing the wrong freaking button.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's like one thing, like in 3-man Ukraine, everyone have to do their job. Like I lead tank, I have to do my job. And one mistake, 100% wipe. If I use Brewalk at 4 stack, let's say, it's a wipe. If I use my cooldown like 1 second late, it's a wipe. Same like other DPS and the tank too. If the tank messed up, like confused, we're gonna wipe. Tanking the dragons, like really in wrong position, we're gonna wipe. Also the DPS, he have to kill the ads really fast. So we have to focus for everything's in 3-man Ukraine. So this is really the hardest achievement. And I told my group, after 3-man Ukraine, I'm gonna take a vacation. I swear to God.
Until the new dungeon comes out or the new raid. But you know what? I'm glad that you said how long it actually took you guys to be successful at 3-manning it. Because I think that some of the people out there, some of the players in TSW think that you just go out and you do it. It takes you like maybe a few hours, maybe a few days, maybe 2-3 weeks at most, and it hasn't. It actually took you guys a couple months at least to get everything right, to even maybe to be lucky in some situations. But everything had to work perfectly, and you just for months you did not give up. You didn't know if it can be done, but you tested the limits, and well, you broke the lurker.
It's like 2 months, it's just fair crafting. It's like how we gonna do it, because we spend like, let's say like 3 days in first phase how to do it, and then second phase there is a bigger problem, we fix it. Then third phase we fix that problem, and there's too many bugs, like really annoying. So like 2 months fair crafting, and when we start like serious New York raid 3-man, we spent like 3 days actually to beat it. Like here the serious, like we know every tactic, the mechanic, so like let's do it. We spent like 3 days and 36 hours, I guess, or I don't know. Like every day we took like 8 hours every day. So 3 days we finished it, and we got it. Then we done it again. It was live in Twitch TV, and we took like 2 hours to finish another 3-man upgrade. And that's why, like, guys, you are really rock. We improved really so much. We spent like in total 3 months, and now we can do it like in 1 hour. That's really big achievement for NTSW.
It was the second time that you've done a 3-man raid.
Yes,
I believe
yeah.
you'd previously done it with I can't remember the ability, but there was one that was bugged that allowed you to do a lot more damage. Is that right?
Yeah, that's I think 1 year ago. It was like, yeah, we start the first New York raid. That was really long time ago. Like, okay, guys, let's do 3-man New York raid. Just a try, you know. And we figure out there's a bug from the lurker, and there's a passive too. So we tried the 3-man with a bug because we need to know how we're gonna do 3-man New York raid. Is that possible or not? So we finish it with the bug, and I didn't want to release the video because it's abusing the game with the bug. But my friend told me like, yeah, boost it, it's really cool, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna boost it. So I put the video on YouTube, and many people really dislike it because we use something wrong there in the 3-man upgrade. After that, they closed my thread in the farm, and people really like attacked me for this. And I told my group I wanna do it again full legal. I'm not gonna give up. So that's why we spent 3 months for a 3-man.
Yeah, at the time I still thought it was very impressive to do even with those bugs. So yeah, what do you think about I don't want to say exploiting, but using things that are bugged, because you're always pushing the limits, and bugs would be a limit. So where do you draw that line between making the most of a bug going into the exploit side of things? Where do you put that line?
For the bug abusing the game, like the 3-man, the first one, like when you use the passive, okay, that deal really more damage, and the lurker stack, the Whisper of Darkness, it was buggy. This one I call it like abuse the game. It's not exploit. Exploit there is different. Like for example, if you want to farm Signet in lair farming, you can farm Signet non-stop. You can get like a double back forever. That was, I think, 2 years ago. That's really the biggest exploit in this game. This is exploit, and for like New York raid, the first one that I call it like abusing the game, like bugs.
Yeah, personally, I like to see the various bugs in the game before they're removed. Like, I will be the first to admit that it took me forever to do a legitimate Hellfallen run, as it's always interesting to see how you can push the game. Where are the, where do the seams start to fall apart at the side? It can be interesting to see that.
Like, I didn't get it really well. Like, what exactly does that mean?
Sorry. Carry on.
As we can hear you. Are you
Oh,
pushing?
sorry, is my microphone playing up?
You're
sorry,
not
can
pushing
you...
the dog button. Can you
yeah,
repeat?
no. Yeah, repeat that question, please, because I didn't get it really well.
Oh, I was just like, do you you're pushing the limit. So pushing the limit on bugs, is that something that you enjoy seeing them, or do you try and avoid them if you know they exist?
Well, I do them and I report them in test live all the time. Like there's some bugs, like it looks really funny. I do them to figure out, how this bug works, like in nightmares or anywhere. Like, okay, so I have to report this in test live because too many people gonna use it, so it's gonna be really bad for this game, especially for old school bugs. It was really buggy before, and like I always report in the farm, just live. So like I do them, yes, I do bugs. I use them just to figure out how that's worked. Then I report them.
Well,
A
speaking
couple of people in. Oh, sorry, go on.
just speaking of boundaries, I was going to ask if there's any particular boundaries, conceptions, or records that you're trying to push at the moment.
The record, I don't think so, because I done the record for New York Raid and some nightmares, but for the record, I'm waiting for issue 12. I'm planning to do like some record there. And
Nice.
yeah,
Do you have your bunny head yet?
but of course I have had one.
I had to ask because everybody and their dog, whoever wins it, whoever gets that achievement, has it on. And I mean, I see Shadester in the game. He's a part of your cabal, like Spike. He has it. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, oh come on, you gotta have it. But I've never seen you actually wear it. It's like what, bunny ears? You don't think they go well with your suit?
Yeah, it doesn't fit with my suit because if I'm gonna use the suit with bunny, no, I'm gonna slash reset. I don't like it. Because I always care about to customize my character. I love like making a new suit and really cool character for every MMO.
Yeah, I've noticed you'll often pick an outfit and then wear it for a couple of months at a time instead of swapping every day.
Have you ever wore the
Yeah.
Ballistic Veil outfit?
Let's see, which one is that?
Zach,
Oh, you just broke
what?
down the heart.
Which one is
It,
that?
it totally wasn't the one that Xander designed.
Yeah, because who'd wear that?
All right.
Wow.
And hey,
No,
wait,
that's
wait,
fine.
wait. I paid like $50 for this suit, so I'm gonna wear it forever.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Yes.
If you look at me sitting on the bike next to you, I'm wearing Ballistic Veil now. It's that
And
suit.
you have a nice part too.
Oh, thank you.
You're not Xander.
Yeah, you're not wearing it right
Yeah,
now
I
in
was gonna say,
game.
Not?
put it under.
Oh.
No, not on live stream. Live stream is a little bit behind.
Not even live.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
gonna say, I'm
I'm looking
looking
at
live
him. Yeah,
Oh,
There-
no,
Oh,
there
there
we
we go.
go.
Just changed. Yep.
there we go.
Oh, there we go. I have this one too.
So, I'm sure Az and many other people would want to ask this, but how many inventory spaces do you have left? Obviously, you've probably bought the whole lot, but how much do you have left? And how many talismans, like weapons and stuff, do you carry around?
Well, I have like 290 inventory space, but I have only 7 space at the moment because I have many stuff in my inventory. For the talisman and weapons, I have, yeah, I count them today. I have like around 170, all of them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
How much black
Covered for
bullion
any
do you have?
situation that comes up.
I was gonna say, and Az and I are sitting here wondering how you have room for all the pamphlets and the pumpkins.
I know, right? I'm thinking, oh man,
And those
I look
severed
at the
feet.
junk
Like,
that I
how many of
have.
them do you have?
Yeah.
How many black bullion you say?
Yeah. How much black bullion do you have at any one time?
I have 6,000 at the moment.
Yeah, you're like the second person I know that has that many.
Are you
Yeah.
planning on spending it all before it gets converted in issue 12's currency revamp?
No, I'm not sure because if I'm gonna buy
You're
stuff,
gonna need another 170 spaces in your inventory if you're gonna
exactly.
if you're gonna
exactly.
use it
So
all.
I have to blame Tilty. We need really more inventory for this one because I can't
See,
buy.
Tilty, another one, another one. We're not alone in this. We're on a
Because-
mission. Well, Az is on a mission to get more space in the inventory.
There's going to
Yeah,
have an in-game
and-
protest before the day's out, probably.
Yeah, and I have like 2 alts just for my bank, and they are full of stuff, even my main. So like I can't use anything. It's like I want
Well,
to buy
they're not
something, I
alts.
can't.
They're mules.
Yeah, just like
They're
for banker, yeah.
mules. They're bank mules. Yeah, I know.
Exactly, bank, yeah. So like I don't have any inventory. I have only 7 space at the moment. I don't know what to use, really.
So okay, we talked a little bit about like your greatest achievements with the 3-man raid. What do you think, or what comes out to you as the most hilarious mishap that you've ever had? Something that really caught you by surprise or was unexpected, and it was like a facepalm moment, or it just made you laugh. and you still
Uh,
remember it?
There's too many things to be honest, but the top one is the three-man nuke raid. You saw the funny moment, and there's
Yeah.
too many accident there. Really funny, really funny. I spent a month there, but seriously, really worth it because we enjoy to do three-man nuke raids. It's really so fun, so fun. It's like new thing in this game, like something new thing. But yeah, three-man is the most fun.
Yeah, I think everybody remembers, whoever has watched it remembers when you open up your inventory and did the potion. And if people were like, damn, you're doing all that in a three-man raid and you're making a potion to consume it, what? No,
Yeah,
that
it's
was
like
like my hats off to you. I tried to do that once I got halfway through before I stepped into filth and I died.
oh, thank you.
Oh no, actually, it wasn't the filth. It was
Fist.
no.
Fist.
It wasn't the New York raid. Oh hell no, I would not even attempt to do that in the New York raid. If I don't do it, like we usually just go in and we're in and out. The kind of group that I raid with. If we have to do it more than once, it's usually some sort of a either a bug or a lag. And then it's like, oh man. Or if someone says, oh yeah, we're going to be in and out, and then it turns out a half hour later, we're still in there fighting Mr. Lag or something.
Oh yeah, there is one thing in New York, right? Like, okay, we done a three-man New York, right? And there's some lag issue sometime in the server. So like sometime we engage and his shotty got crashed, and like I'm leeching his shotty. Then like suddenly there is no locker. He just disappeared. There's no locker. Like what? Where's the locker? Where is the locker? He's just gone. Like suddenly there's no locker. So we spent like I think like 20 minutes waiting for the locker, and there's nothing. Yeah, this is the really it was really wow.
You scared him
Waiting for
away.
waiting for 20 minutes, lurkers took one look at you. It's like, oh crap, it's that group. No, I'm not gonna die today. I'm not showing my
Yeah.
my face here again.
I think he got bored because we done it like for 2 months. Like oh, I'm gonna go away, take a vacation.
How long
Nice.
do you think it'll take you to three-man the Nightmare version of the New York raid?
Three-man nightmare version, you mean?
Yeah, the new one that's coming out with the second part of issue 12.
Yeah, it's like it's a flappy. I tried this New York raid. Sorry, the new raid. First we're gonna complete it, and the second is we have to figure out the best mechanic. If that's possible for three-man New York raid, three-man new raid, I will really do it. If that's really possible, because I'm not sure you can do three-man the new raid in issue 12.
Yeah, so
So
with
do you-
issue 12, yeah, go on, Judith.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah, with issue 12, for those that don't know, the first release is going to sort of redo a bit of the raid. So you got the the New York raid, you've got the Eidolon, and you've got the new Filth Bird, the Flappy Bird of the Zero Point Pathogen. So all of those three are going to be in the game at a regular 3-day cooldown. But with the second part of issue 12, they're going to release new, even harder versions of those three raids. So are you looking forward to even more difficult versions of the raids, Kat?
Well, about the difficulty for new raid, you mean, right?
Yeah, the new difficulty level they're going to put in for us.
They're gonna
Yeah,
put like the nightmare. They said nightmare, but it's obviously gonna be a lot more demanding and more difficult to complete than the ones that we're so used to right now.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been always talking to farm about the difficulty in nightmares or in general, because I always say, go make a difficulty like nightmare and heroic or something like that for New York raid. So like you can join New York raid like nightmare or like heroic for new raid 2, the issue 12. So I really love the idea how to create like a new difficulty for new raid. Like you can pick nightmare, you can pick like normal one. You know, that's really interesting. I really love this idea because it's like from other MMO. I do like to do like challenging, you know, like this is challenging. It's nightmare. So you want to do nightmare, it's really seriously nightmare. So you have to prepare for it. Like Tilty said in Penthouse, this is a nightmare. You have to deal with it. So it's going to be the same in new raid in H12. So I'm really prepared for it.
Nice. Well, kind of related to that, how do you feel about Aegis being involved in like everything from now on?
Ages. It's really clever system for TSW. It's really new things. It's like you're not gonna burn the boss really fast, like the same in all dungeons. So you have to destroy the ages, and there's 3 types of ages. That's really interesting. So you guys gonna spend a lot of time in dungeons and in a new raid. So this is a new thing, and there is one really side effect for some build for leeching. You cannot leech ages. That's a biggest problem for ages system. Like, okay, I enjoy leeching, I enjoy leech tanking, but I cannot leech or leech tanking ages system. So I have to be normal heals or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but the system is really like shocked the community. It's really something new, and we never thought about like there's a shield, you know, in Caden or in new raid or for all dungeons, you know. That's really
Yeah.
interesting one.
Did you like it when it was first released?
At the start, no. It was like annoying, you know, like you have to destroy the ages. And
I hear
like,
you. Praise
yeah.
the Lord. Amen, brother.
Yeah, it's like really
Hallelujah.
boring.
That's fine. I'll sit in my corner where I liked it. That's fine. I'm
Yeah,
like
it was-
the only one in the game. It's okay.
Yeah, but yeah,
I quite
at the
liked
start,
it too.
Okay.
yeah, like at the start, really boring. But when you do dungeons with ages, this is seriously something else. For the contents, yeah, this is like something else. You're gonna enjoy it. I just like ages at the start, but when you do like new stuff with ages like dungeons, this is really different, and
See,
you're gonna enjoy it.
this is where Joel, when he was on our show, he actually said he doesn't think people grasp the possibility of ages, and that it will only be apparent what they can do with it as the game progresses throughout the issues.
No, that's definitely true.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
now that, and the thing is, Aegis is going to be out for a while, just like, you had custom gear that then you had to upgrade via Black Bullions and whatnot. So Aegis has to be upgraded as well. And it is no longer that like grinding, boring, 5, 6 missions that you had at the very start, which people they happily did that and they got all of their controllers to 1.9, but now people who are entering Tokyo, they don't have that problem. So they can do it in fraction of a time and not get nearly as being all like, oh, I hate Aegis.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that we're going to see more and more different kinds of fighting and different kinds of mechanics due to Aegis. So do you like the implementation of more technically and mechanically advanced dungeons and raids to the game? And you said that you really, really enjoyed the Penthouse. You're obviously like just really looking forward to the Flappy raid. And what do you expect from them? What would make you happy seeing, from the new dungeon and from the new Tokyo raid?
Really good question. For that, for like new dungeons and new Tokyo raid, I do like the communicate. So you're not gonna engage without like talking to your group. So you have to communicate with everyone, like what you are doing, especially with ages. Like, okay, you're gonna destroy the ages really fast, and you have to stop because there's a switch between ages, and for new dungeons, there is something like good mechanic, and like I said at the start, I just like ages grinding, but for the future, there is something different because you're gonna grind ages and there is something new. So everyone is not gonna be equal in this game. So everyone is different, you know, because you're gonna grind ages, you're gonna grind something, and especially in Tokyo Raid, you know, there is something new. And by the way, Tokyo Raid, there is no ages there.
With the new Tokyo Raid?
Yeah, there's no ages, I guess. I think only in Nightmare.
Oh,
I think in only in Nightmare, yeah. But in Test
Are
Live,
you
there's
talking
no
about
ages.
the Flappy Bird one?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I don't think that's the Tokyo Raid. They haven't put the Tokyo Raid in yet.
Oh, really? I thought it's Tokyo Raid.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
is
under
Yeah,
that impression too.
I
You
Oh,
mean the
really?
Defile the
too.
Gartha raid?
Mm.
yeah.
Defile the Gartha, that's the Flappy one. That's the one
I
that we've been.
misunderstood. Yeah, I misunderstood. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah,
I need a
think
coffee, I
from
guess.
I think from memory, at the end of Through the Dark Wakely, there's that tentacle thing that comes
Yeah.
out. I believe, based on some leaked concept art that was then quickly removed, that is going to be linked to the Tokyo Raid. They're not quite sure. But just while we're on this topic of Aegis, when it first came in, Joel was saying that we've got Aegis instead of having further vertical progression. So instead of going to 1.6 or higher, or they would have Aegis as the new system. So it'd be like a vertical, no, not like a horizontal thing. So rather than just having to bump the numbers, but now in issue 12, we're going to be able to go all the way up to Q11. So from Q5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 11. Now this is a change. This is a change here, and it does raise some questions. Does that mean that they've seen Aegis as a bit of a failure, or are they just wanting to push the progression in two different directions? Because now we have two paths that we can go down here. So I'm just wondering what everyone thinks about that.
No, the Aegis is not really fail because they're still working on it, and people they should wait because they doing it for new raid, for Tokyo Raid, and it's for the future. So they release, they release Aegis, and you cannot complain. Funcom like, hey, this is really bad system. But wait, this is this system for in the future for issue 12, issue 13. And let me answer about the Tokyo Raid. Tokyo Raid is gonna be involved with Aegis, and it's not gonna be like New York Raid. This is gonna be really different difficulty there, and I think it's gonna be really the hardest thing in the game, and no one can do it really easily because you need 10 man, and you need 10 man have to communicate to each other, and you have to get like really high quality of ages. And about the QL10, QL11, that's not gonna change the improvement for your for your build or for your performance because it's not gonna change a lot. Only with your ages. So I think this game is going to be ages system for the gears, and for your QL11 it's not going to push your level really too far. It's going to be the same, but a little bit, like let's say like 10%.
Well, and
Yeah.
if you were asking all of us, I know my two big thoughts on it are, one, you've never needed to be, absolute maxed out gear to progress in the story, right? You've never
Mhm.
needed to be 10.5. You're not going to need to be 11. With that in mind, I know there's people in game who have maxed Aegis, they have maxed level, and they've been waiting and waiting for something to progress. And while I'm not one of them, I'm super happy they're going to have something to focus on again.
But you know
Yeah,
what?
From
Sorry, go ahead.
a purely selfish perspective, I am so glad that I'm going to have something new to do, something new to grind. I'm not at full 0.5 as I cannot decide what to use all my criterions, so I have an inventory full of them, but it is going to be so nice to be able to keep upgrading my gear, even though it's not needed. There was the question of, from the dev stream, it looks like we're only going to upgrade the weapons and the talismans, not the glyphs.
Yeah, not the glyphs straight away.
At least with the first part. There was no mention if we would be able to upgrade glyphs in the second part of it or not, but my suspicion is that is to avoid the problem with diminishing returns, as currently there is like a soft cap on various levels, and if we were to be able to further increase that, that could then have some power problems.
Yes. So if they're gonna uh, like for the glyph, like improve the glyph, like for QL6, QL7, that's gonna be really different. You're gonna change everything in this game, because if you're gonna have really high stats level, you can solo it. You can do it like, let's say like dungeon. You need 5 players. If you have full gears, you can do it with 3 man if you want. Because if they're gonna focus on the stats to like upgrade them, no, I don't recommend it to do that. Really, I prefer QL5 only, because this is the best. This is the end. And for like upgrade them, no, I don't support this idea really.
Yeah, but you know what? Going back on what you had asked as about the different kinds of progressions, vertical and horizontal in the game, it is. It could be a little bit too soon when it comes to the vertical progression, after they've been saying, no, we want to slow down on that. We want to have some sort of a horizontal progression. That's why we introduced Aegis. But at the same time, they need to make it worthwhile to players to actually complete, and why to actually even engage in new group content. And from the group content, you always end up getting the best pieces, the best talismans, the best weapons. We've had upgrades for 3 years for glyphs and for talismans and weapons, criterions and astrals. So there needs to be, as the game progresses, there's going to be more of it. Now the question is, I don't doubt that there will be even progression, vertical progression past that, but the question that you brought up, Kat, is a very good one. How will then that affect those upgrades? What kind of an effect will that have on, say, Polaris, 18s, 24s, or the original 8 dungeons? Will they need to be worked on and the level of difficulty increased because of the, new vertical progression that adds to absolutely every single stat and makes the other fights, like we had a 6-second Urdraug kill, will that become a norm with new stuff?
Well, they don't adjust, say, elite dungeons just because we're geared for nightmare dungeons. I guess my understanding was the dungeons and stuff going forward will take into account that 11. I don't know why they'd want to change what we already have now, because there's still going to be people who are only up to 10.0, 10.1, 10.2 progressing through the game. And if you make the current nightmares too hard, then they're going to have nothing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
thought that the level 11 was only for the PvP equal footing buff, whereas the actual progression in PvE terms will only go to 10.7.
Yeah, we get to go to 10.7 with the first dungeon. So with the
Yeah,
for those who
that's
don't
what I
know
meant,
listening,
yeah.
issue 12 is going to be split into 2 parts. The first part comes with the first dungeon. Then a few weeks later, the second dungeon will be introduced. The first dungeon lets us get up to 10.7. The second dungeon will let us to get all the way up to Q11. But the equal footing buff in PvP gets everyone up to the equivalent of Q11 straight away.
Yeah, and okay, it's gonna be a problem for all dungeons, because they still like it's been like 3 years, and if they're gonna upgrade the quality of the talisman, okay, but there's a diminishing return too. So if you're gonna upgrade them to QL11, but still that's not big improve your DBS, or you can burn the boss really fast, because still there is a diminishing return. Same like a stats. If they're gonna upgrade the glyph, there is still diminishing return for crit rating, penetration, and crit power. So like you're not gonna get like overpower from this upgrade. It's still the same, but just a little bit improvement. Just you're not gonna notice that.
Yeah, we got a couple of people in chat talking about that increasing the stat limits will allow hybrid roles, such as heal tanking, a little bit more wiggle room. Instead of having to use all of your stats as efficiently as possible, there'd be more room to, try different things out.
Yeah, it's like So do you mean about if they're gonna upgrade the quality of the talisman and it's gonna be easy for heal tank and nightmares, right?
It could be slightly easier, I'd imagine, at least for the current content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're gonna get like more HP, more heal rating, so it's gonna be easier to heal tank the normal dungeons. That's why, like, if they're gonna upgrade it, they should focus on other stuff too. Like, okay, it's not gonna be big improve, but there's a big improve for other build, like hyper build, like leech tank and heal tank. So we can heal tank, like not very easy, but it's gonna be easier than before. You can survive. Like, it's gonna give you 20% survivability in nightmares.
Headshotty in the chat just said he can't wait to run a fist rifle leech hybrid in the Aegis dungeons. I'm looking forward to that myself. I'm enjoying fist healing. It's a walk in the park. It's a lot less stressful than leeching, but to be able to leeching can be a bit more fun. So I'm looking forward to being able to DPS leech rather than having to go the full direct healing from them.
Oh yeah, because leech is not direct heal only. Like, you have to do damage too. You have DPS and healing at the same time. So if I'm gonna go direct heal, no, I'm not gonna play this build because it's really boring. I can go fist healing. It's direct heal and more like better than leech direct. So like, I'm planning to do like leech DPS on Aegis, but I don't know how because it's really hard. Like, people like they're telling me you can go like fist heal with leech. You can DPS after the Aegis and you can heal during the Aegis. You can heal the tank. But I have no idea yet. I have to figure out how to do it really.
Yeah, it seems like it could be a bit tricky, but the
Theoretically,
community
yeah,
will
just
figure it out
practice.
soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose on that, I have been healing the penthouse, and I think, at least from a healer's perspective, it's really showing what Aegis can do in these systems. The flappy fight, the second fight, the way that my group's been doing, we have been using I have to heal two different types of shields. So we've got the tank with the red shield in the middle, right next to the bird, and then everyone else is using the psychic shield at a distance. Now, I know some groups they all get up close, but we found that people would kill each other, and it was just easy to have everyone spread out. And for almost like the first time as a fist healer, I've had to pay attention rather than just spamming stuff. And it's really cool to see what Aegis can do. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what the dungeon's going to bring, what the raids are going to bring. There's a lot that they can do in this system, and now we're actually starting to see that. Aegis is starting to have a meaning other than just being a roadblock.
Exactly. This is like my point for like from the beginning. It's like Aegis. Okay, they release mini dungeon, and by the way, this is just mini dungeon, and you have to prepare for other dungeons. And I guarantee you, the new dungeon is gonna be something different, harder than Neocrate, harder than Penthouse, especially Nightmare. For the healing in Aegis, see, here like you can improve yourself. You're not gonna heal just 1 2 3 1 2 3 and the tank is full HP. So you have to check the Aegis and you have to focus. So like, now you have a job. Now fist healing can do something in new dungeons. So you have to focus on Aegis, you have to focus on tank, and you have to check the field. Like, oh, you are far away from your target, so you have to be close. So that's why Funcom release Aegis for future dungeons, because everyone can enjoy that, and especially in new dungeon. I tried that in Elite, and Elite was really good mechanic. So I'm waiting for Nightmare. The healing in Nightmare is going to be really difficult, by the way.
So, do you feel the development of the game is going in a direction that most players will benefit from?
At the moment, yes. Like before, I've been waiting for content really for a long time, and there's nothing. But for the Aegis, new dungeons, and new stuff, Tokyo Raid, so they're planning to do a lot of stuff in this game. So like now, the developer just walk up. They just walk up. They just listen to the community in the farm, like what exactly we need, and they done it really, and that's what we need exactly. But there's one comment for them, like if you release Nightmare, do not like nerf it or something, because you said this is Nightmare, and we have to deal with it. So nightmare is nightmare, and if there is like something really buggy, they can fix it, but do not nerf it because people gonna dislike it. Same like Penthouse, they nerf it and everyone seriously dislike it. The hardcore player,
Yeah.
the people like enjoy the challenging, they all dislike it. And I know some people they quit the game because they say it like it's nightmare and now it's not nightmare and now you can do it real easy because at the start it's really hard to heal tank and now you can heal tank and smoking at the same time. Yeah, that's why like it make challenging. You're gonna get more players. I guarantee that. Seriously.
So one concern that I've had with this, and even the developers have mentioned it as one of their concerns, is the fact that the next two issues, issue 12, the first and second part, and then issue 13, are aimed at very specific group of players in the secret world, and for the most part for the most part of better part, let's say, of the last 3 years, we've always heard that people who run dungeons on a daily basis or PvPers, that they constitute a minority of the game. Now, being that issue 12 is dedicated to group content and issue 13 to PvP content for the most part that we know of right now, how well do you think the game will do financially, considering it's going to be the end of the year? Do you think sales will drop? Do you think that people will not be that interested in the group content because they are not interested in it themselves, or maybe they're just not in Tokyo yet? How do you think, what kind of impact that will have financially on Funcom?
Like for example, for me, I like to do a lot of challenge. I like to do content, and you're not gonna see me in TSW if there's nothing interesting. And I thought about quit this game because I want to do new things, but there's nothing. But for the future content and a new raid for issue 13 and a lot of stuff gonna change, I really waiting for it, and that's why like I'm very active. And for the new players, the old players, they're gonna back. And I saw couple like I think 13 players, they whisper me and they wanna back to this game just to farm ages for new content because they said like something new and ages and new dungeon, and people say like this is really hard, and even the developer they said like it's really hard, and we all wait for that. But yes, they're not gonna lose a player if they're gonna release this content and a new feature for the issue 13 and 12. They're gonna get like all the player. I guarantee that because I know what they want. They want exactly what I want, and the other community too. They want like this. They don't want like old content. They want more upgrade, like more dungeons, more stuff. So if you want peoples, do this. If you can't do that, you're not gonna see any players in TSW. And
So
that's
do you
why.
think? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead. Do you think? What?
Do you think that the players who are currently in the game who may not buy issue 13 or issue 12 because it's aimed at group content that they do not do you think that will be offset by all the different players who were at Endgame and have left TSW for reasons, and then they are going to come back and purchase the issue, and that way it's kind of going to balance things out for Funcom financially?
Yes. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay,
It's gonna be like that. Yeah.
it does make sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys, the rest of you, think?
I know, I kind of find the whole thing interesting just because before this, my primary MMO was DCUO, right? Every time they had an update, it was very dungeon focused. That's one of the reasons I got tired of that game, was because they only gave dungeons. So the fact that they're finally giving dungeon runners an update here, I mean, I think that's great.
Yeah. So
So
I
even
prefer
even
to
though
make group.
if you didn't say Griff do the dungeons yet, would you still buy the issue to support the game, or would you be like, well, not just yet. I'll see if I want to buy it later on.
I am planning to buy it. I guess you could say partially to support, but I also just finally got around to beating the Gatekeeper, so I might as well grab that content now because I'll get to it eventually, most likely.
It was interesting from the dev stream. We got told that there is going to be a story mission component to the issue. It wasn't made clear whether the story will be directly tied into a dungeon or if there will be like a side, like a solo version of it or not. But there is a continuation of the story in one way or the other.
Yeah, we were told that for the PvP part of the story. Remember when we asked if they can elaborate more on it? Bylaw said that it actually has to do with the main story, so they can't really release any kind of information about it because it'd be spoilery.
Well, and come to think of it, there was another aspect of the issue 12 updates that are going to make me more interested in doing more dungeons, and that is the currency revamp. I am geared lower than I could be just because I don't run dungeons that often. So I'm kind of looking forward to being able to gear in other ways. So then when I want to do the dungeons, I'm a little bit more prepared gear wise. I know it's not all about gear, but that gives me a base to work from that I kind of like when I go into a dungeon.
And there's one
Hmm.
thing too. Like they should balance the new content. Like, okay, there is two type of player. They like challenging, and the other group just they want to have fun and finish it really normally. So, like I said, they should make a difficulty. So difficulty for challenging, like activate totem or just enter the dungeon or new raid with nightmare difficulty. So this difficulty for specific player and other difficulty for another player. So everyone can join. They're not gonna say, "Oh, this is really hard. I'm not gonna play this game," you know. And Funcom J, they just went too far for new content. So they should like make this idea, and they will back. They will like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
having
one
the
of
two
the,
different options makes a big difference. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to talk a little bit about the currency revamp. They're not all the various sequins, tokens, credits, Oreos that we currently have. They're all being lumped together into Black Bullion, and even the current Black Bullion we've got is then being converted into the new Black Bullion. So no matter what part of the game you're doing, if it's PvP, if it's scenarios, if it's just regular questing, you're all going to get the same type of currency, and that currency can be used to upgrade your gear along the custom path. All Venice gear is being turned into custom gear now. So no matter what part of the game you're doing, you still have access to the same upgrade, the same gear progression path. So you can then get up to a level where you can then do dungeons or you can do PvP. You can do whatever you want now without having to worry about your gear. So from that perspective at least, it's going to open up the dungeons to more people. It's going to open up PvP to more people, as whatever you enjoy doing, you can now get where you want to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Play as you want to play. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been their motto from the beginning, and they've started going back to it now. And I think they might play on it a little bit more when it comes to the promotion of issue 12 and 13, because it's a good way. Everybody, says opening up the dungeons and kind of hushing up all the different currencies, because we were wondering about that. What on earth is going to happen with this and with that, and you have to have, and it became a little bit confusing for the new player who's just joined the game simply because there's just so many of them. So it's a huge both thumbs up for doing away with different currencies and just going with these two. And obviously everything is currently on, well, not everything, but the first part of issue 12, part of it is already on test live. So if you're a subscriber or a GM of the Secret World, a grandmaster of the game, you have access to test live server. So do head on over there, try the content out, provide your feedback, because this is this is crunch time for that. And if you have a group of friends who usually run dungeons together, go on in there if you can and test out the new dungeon, see what you feel,
Mhm.
report the bugs.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah, and like they will come back, let's say like they has QL10 only. So how they're gonna upgrade them? It's gonna take really forever. So they can buy Attributes Criterion and they can start over for new content. So they can be ready for issue 12. That's really a good idea from Funcom.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how much the new upgrades cost. The prices they've currently got on Test Live, they're subject to change, but it looks like one of the old Black Bullion is now worth like 10 of the new ones. So things
Yeah.
cost more, but you're going to be able to get more of them, doing whatever you want. The
Yeah.
currency cap is interesting though. The cap on how many you can have at any one time is going to, I know it's going to bother me, but it will be interesting to see how easy they are to earn. I suppose until we know that, it's hard to tell. And the new Marks of the Pantheon, that's quite interesting from a couple of perspectives. I'm wondering, just to go off on a lore tangent here, what do we think Marks of the Pantheon, what do we think that's talking about? Who is the Pantheon? Is it us?
Can I say something quick before we go on to that? With the caps, though, I do understand why they're doing it. And I'm a hoarder with my items. I'm a hoarder with, my currency. But I really get how they don't want people to stockpile it. And then every time they have an update, you can buy everything and then you're bored again. Like, I get what they're doing with that.
Oh, yeah, I understand the cap. I know why it's there. Chelsea says in the last interview, it's not on the dev stream. It's not fun if you can just buy everything when it's first released. But what are they gonna release that people that are already fully upgraded can then buy? Unless they're directly selling us a 1.6 upgrade from the start, I imagine everything that's going to drop in is going to be drops anyway. But I'm a hoarder and I don't want to lose my 8k bullion.
But what's also interesting is that there will also be, in addition to the capped amount of both Black Bullion and Marks of the Pantheon, Marks of the Pantheon will also have a weekly cap, it seems. And but that is only from the Nightmare content that's coming out.
I suppose on that point, they're also removing the cooldown, the mission lockouts for the Nightmare Dungeons. So if you have absolutely nothing else to do, you can just grind them over and over again on one day and then get to your limit. But should we speculate on the lore from these Marks of Pantheon?
Go for it.
All right. Currently, our custom weaponry, our custom gear, comes from the Orochi. It's all Orochi made stuff. Now, I have absolutely no basis on this it's pure speculation on my part, so grain of salt and all that. We get it from Orochi. Recently in the story, so spoilers, who cares, the Orochi CEO is not terribly happy with us. I would not be surprised if somehow or other that limits what they will sell to us. Now, the Marks of the Pantheon, the word Pantheon, you normally think of like a group of gods, so Greek gods or Roman gods. And who are the gods in this game? Well, apart from the actual real ones, you've now got the host. We were given wings. We are the next level above human. It would not surprise me if these new Marks of the Pantheon have a new vendor, perhaps the host or something related to the host, and we're then getting our further power upgrades from them. The new Pantheon could be us. That is just pure rampant speculation on my part, though.
Nice one.
But less
that
of a
is.
reliance on Orochi tech, I think, would fit well in what we've recently done and what the Orochi currently think of us.
Another thought I had, and I'm sorry to bring it back to the previous topic, but another thought I had before you were talking about that is, the play as you want and removing the lockouts but keeping the weekly cap. That's really super going to help the people who maybe they can only play 2 nights a week and they're willing to, run dungeons all night, but they can only do it during those 2 nights. They're going to be able to do that now.
Yep. Very good point.
And you're gonna see too many activity like in Nightmares 2. They're gonna farm it.
Yep. And the thing is, as well, like sometimes people need help, someone DCs and then gets locked out because the DC the computer's slowly booting up, or they have issues, or someone has to go. It's really, really going to help a lot.
Yes.
And it's going to, I think, create a more tight-knit community where people will be able to do dungeons with their, regular group, but they will also, should they want to or be able to, help out many different people. And like you guys said, it will open up the dungeons to a lot more people out there that would not normally do them.
And they can spam. And if they're gonna wipe a lot, fail, and someone have to go, they can bring anyone to, and it's gonna
Exactly.
be it's gonna be really interesting for new people.
Yeah, sorry, as we kind of went back to the dungeons. Yeah, but no, I think the theories that people have posted on the forums, and what you've mentioned as well. That's my dog sneezing in the background. So yeah, I think it's really interesting, and I think you could be onto something where this is exactly why it has to be something extremely powerful, something that's the most powerful that we have met in game so far. And right now, the ability that is extra powerful, that is the most powerful ability, is the ultimate ability, right? So you could be on to something there, with where your thoughts were going. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yes, yeah. I think ultimate abilities really require at least 3 for Tokyo, right? Because it's gonna take, I think, more than 10 minutes, I think. Because they
Yeah.
made a cooldown 10 minutes for a reason. There is something is coming up.
Yes, so that people can just spam it one after another and then get the boss down, burn the boss down that much faster.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
10's
think
enough
there's
time.
yeah, and it's gonna be Animus Recharge in Tokyo, right? I guess.
So what do you guys think of the new social tool?
I think it's no.
Go
Go
for
on.
it.
Go no. Finish explaining.
No,
I
no.
just think it's super awesome.
Then you go right
Um,
ahead.
The reason I think it's super awesome is, even though I don't actively RP in this game, but I know so many people who do. I know so many people that throw parties. Obviously, we do our show. I think it is so awesome that they're using that tool not just for groups for dungeons, but also for other social activities. I mean, I think that's wonderful.
Was the current looking for group tool that wasn't in the initial launch, was it? It was in one of the earlier updates, I believe. Is that right?
LFG tool. I think it came within the first few updates that came into the game. Yeah.
I have a quick question for you guys.
Well,
since you guys are talking about that, isn't the new social tool the same really as Valkyrie's Friends Enhanced?
It's similar in that you can write a comment. Yeah.
Up
And
to
you can-
120 characters. Yeah. So it's,
But it's-
almost like a tweet.
Well, it's a comment other people can read too, because Friends Advanced, I can read my notes. I can't read your notes.
I wonder
Yes,
if they're going
that's
to have
true.
any sort of moderation, or if people can just write whatever they want now.
Oh, point.
Well, there isn't much in line of moderation right now. I guess there wouldn't be any need for it in LFG tool. Hardly anyone uses it. Plus, you can't really write comments on it. But it's you see, to me, they have the dungeon finder, and then they have the social tool. And it's like, well, why would you have both. I think people will end up completely forgetting about the dungeon finder and just using the social tool in order to find group or find people to join their group when it comes to dungeons and raids. Or am I missing something here?
I think different people are going to group different ways. I know there's people in the game who just have been dying for a dungeon finder because that is how they enjoy grouping. But at the same time, I don't think the people hanging out in Sanctuary and Noobmares are suddenly going to stop forming groups in chat. I
Yeah.
mean, they do that because that's what they enjoy. Otherwise, they'd be spamming out in Agartha.
Yeah, it's interesting to wonder who this is aimed at. Like the elitists are not going to use it. They're going to keep doing what they do. They're not going to risk getting a pug group this way that they can't even inspect the gear before they get zoned in. The Sanctuary, the Noobmarians, they're going to keep using what they do. People are still going to use their friends. This could be for really, really new players or incredibly lazy players.
Well, and really quick, speaking of Sanctuary and Noobmares, that was one of the reasons I was super excited about that social tool, because people have said for a long time that it would be really nice if there was a way to advertise Sanctuary and Noobmares other than just, you run into somebody new and shoot them a link. People could go into that social finder, and maybe some of these people in the game who don't visit the forums and aren't aware, they can start making friends that way.
Yeah, plus you can apply different filters to your search as well, which is going to make it that much more useful.
Yeah, it's going to be socialized for everyone in this game. It's going to be really interesting and new stuff in this game too.
Yeah,
Maybe,
definitely.
maybe new players will stop.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I'm going to
No,
close
go
my
on,
account
yeah.
on Twitter, so I'm going to use this one, I guess.
No, I was just saying maybe now the poor new players who zone in on like a really, really empty area will finally stop thinking the entire game is dead, because they'll see social stuff on there and be like, okay, there are people, it's okay.
Yes, and I hope we can put a picture there too. It's going to be really fun.
So, what about these new daily and weekly challenges? Because there's been a number of people posting on the forums saying, well, they really need to be careful about what kind of challenges they actually put forth to the players. Because there's a number of people on the forums who have expressed their displeasure, shall we say, that something like this will get introduced because, according to them, they're not popular in any game whenever they're introduced. But then again, I'm reminded of the dailies that we had with issue 7 and no, sorry, well, issue 7, yes, but also issue 6. And I used to grind the hell out of those. And I never had a problem with them doing them every day. It's like log in, yeah, I'm doing my dailies. I was
Yeah,
even
it was all
traveling
the
one
same.
Yeah.
It was
day.
all the same content, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
this is going to be something completely different. And just because it's there and it offers you the reward, it's your own choice. Do you want to complete it or not? If you don't, there's nothing that actually says you have to do it.
And that was exactly what I was thinking when I saw this. My biggest issue with dailies are in games that's the only thing worthwhile to do at a certain point. You can run dungeons or you can do dailies, and that's the only thing that makes sense to level. Well, they've just told us they're combining all the currency. You're still going to be able to get this currency, 50 bajillion different ways. So just, one way is going to be these challenges. I'm fine with that.
Exactly.
If
so
it's
like,
used... go on, Kat.
oh, thank you. It's like, okay, I'm always AFK in Agartha. There's nothing to do. So if they're gonna release this challenging daily, I'm gonna do it all the time because it's really fun and there's like different reward. So I kind of grab my group and just do a challenging. Like, for example, you have to kill, let's say like Polaris, okay? You have 10 minutes left. So you have to join Polaris and kill it. You're gonna get a reward, you're gonna get achievement. That's gonna be really fun because you're gonna do something interesting. Okay, it's the same thing, but it's really fun. And you can
You
see
get
like
a different kind of reward for it.
exactly. So it's really, I love the daily, especially for other MMO too. Because when I play MMO, I love do daily all the time. And I've been waiting for TSW to do that, and finally they thought about it.
I think for me, it's going to depend what they are. If it's shining a spotlight on the various parts of the game, so you might have a PvP mission one day, you might have maybe even a lair or a dungeon, maybe even a scenario. If it keeps pointing at different parts of the game, that's going to be cool. If it shines a spotlight on the various aspects to, get people involved in different parts, that's going to be fantastic. If it's just the same thing day after day after day, that's going to get a bit dull. Although, to be fair, I did grind the hell out of those issue 10 side missions.
Well, well, and to me, if it gets to the point that it's boring for me, I just won't do them. Again, even if that's one way to get marks of the Pantheon, there's going to be other ways, and you don't need to be complete uber level to play the story. Like, I've been putting off my progression
yeah,
forever
that's the
just because
point.
I don't necessarily feel like it.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
point too. Even if they give the marks, if there's a daily limit to a weekly limit to the marks, you can still run into that, and then unless they're interesting, there's no point to do them.
yeah, I mean, I I keep coming back to it. I'm seeing all of these updates as being options, and I'm kind of confused by the people acting like they're limiting our choices. Like
Yeah, but
I'm
I
not
think it's
seeing the
mostly
same thing.
I think it's mostly several people or a handful of people arguing back and forth on, yay or nay. Because there's always a certain amount of players who are extremely vocal in their thoughts and in their opinions as well. And not to negate it, because everyone has a right to their opinion, but the development team has to be really careful into taking everyone into consideration.
Well, and to clarify quick, I want to make it clear. I'm not saying anything against people who don't like the updates they're hearing. Like, I get it. There's updates I like, there's updates other people hate. I just don't understand the people who are seeing it as less choice. Like, I don't even mean that as a slam, just I'm viewing it
Yeah,
very, very
it's not
differently.
it's not limiting, it's in addition to. So you would
Yeah,
perhaps do certain missions or certain things in game. This way, you just do it for an extra reward. If you don't want to do them, just pass up on them. Don't need to concern yourself with them.
Yeah, so
yeah.
you're not forced to do it. Like, you can do it, you
Exactly.
cannot, yeah. So, like, totally fine.
Right now, you can gear up pretty fast through PvP, and that doesn't mean people who hate PvP are all in there doing it because they have to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
guys, we have just a little bit of time left, and I wanna bring this conversation back to Kat. And I know, Kat, that you have a couple of projects when it comes to the secret world. You want to tell us a little bit about them?
Oh, yes. There is two projects in my mind. First, there is a big event coming up really soon. I think it's going to be like 2 weeks. So the event's going to be really too many giveaway stuff. So there is like Funkin' Points, 6 rare bikes, and too many outfits from last year. And in this year too, there's emotes, titles, and bits, tuxedo, and
Are you
the
talking about
last,
the Mythos machine?
yes, there's 6 of them
6 of them?
giveaway.
Holy crap!
Yeah, and I'm gonna open like around 7 golden bag from the store,
Mm-hmm.
so you have a chance to get a bike too. For the last giveaway is gonna be a Franken chopper mission for the bike one.
Nice.
And yeah, so the event's gonna take like 2 hours maximum, I guess. And at the end, it's gonna be big selfie for TSW community. I think I'm gonna contact Tilty to join us, for the last part of the selfie, and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be really interesting. And there's like too many questions, so we're gonna ask question. If you answer them, you're gonna get stuff like there's a bags too, there's a signet. You can get like a bike too. And there is a question for TSW contest who participate there. And there is a question about me. So this event is for TSW, the third anniversary, and for me too.
Nice. So you plan
Yeah.
on
Very
doing it
nice.
at the end of July?
Um, it's gonna be early than that, I think. I'm still
Cool.
working. Yeah, I'm still working on a question and stuff, and it's gonna be DJ and music too. So a lot of stuff is coming up really soon. And the second
Nice.
project, the second one is really interesting. I want to ask you one question. Do you watch TV series?
Yeah.
Some, yeah.
So how about to make TSW series in this game?
Ooh, I like.
So yeah, so I'm planning to do a series in TSW. It's gonna be 5 seasons. Every season has 5 episodes. One episode's gonna be 20 to 25-minute length in YouTube, and there's gonna be really story. Like the first season will be zombie apocalypse, like invading Kingsmouth, and there's like some characters like heroes, like let's say assassin, special power, and like really fighting scene. It's gonna be really big project for community. I'm still working so hard, and there is a voice actor too.
Nice. So, do you
That is
need any help with
awesome.
voice acting? Like, can people
Yeah.
apply somewhere? I know that. Hey, there's a lot of people from our community who have
Like,
been posting on the
come on,
forums,
Antita.
going
I
like,
was going to at least wait till we're off air before offering to help
"Hey,
out with
not
voice
for
acting.
me, not for me." But hell, I'm not good at stuff like that. But I've noticed there was a lot of people who were saying, including you, as, directly to Tilty, who was saying, "Hey, we would be able to do stuff for free. You don't have to pay us." So I know there's people interested out there who would actually do great work. If you need someone, or if you will need someone, should they keep their eyes peeled on the forums? Will you be posting there?
I guess, yeah. So, like, at the moment, I'm writing the story. So, I need really good story for the season one. And this is really going to be hard. And story and scenario too. Then I need voice actor and some character to work with me. It's going to be really big project. And because people, they like story in this game. So how about to make our own story, and we're gonna record it, and it's gonna be good record, not really bad quality or something like that. So it's gonna be really hard work. So I'm still working every day. I spend like 6 hours to write the story, or to make the scene, how to make it. But we have one problem. We don't know how to make a fight scene. Like, let's say, like in Kingsmouth, so we cannot fight each other, because I'm gonna spoil it, like something. There's assassin, so he have like some targets, and he have to kill someone, but where we can't do it in like open area, only in Fight Club. But I can solve this problem, and I can show you some booster if you want about the Kingsmouth and the like zombie invading Kingsmouth if you want.
They're all nodding.
This one can take a little bit. Also, there is like a special power, for every character. So every character has a special power by their weapons or by their body. So there's two worlds. There's another universe, and there's like TSW universe, So there's gonna be heroes, interesting fight scene, horror, everything. So it's gonna be 5 seasons. So it's gonna be really a lot of work.
Sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, I cannot wait to find out more about it.
And so first, we're gonna make a trailer in the farm. The trailer is gonna be really good one. I love the trailer. So if people love the trailer and they want to watch the season one, here we're gonna release it in public. But if you're not gonna get any support or like something like that, we can't do that, because if they not gonna watch it, or they waiting for the season one and the episode, like we can't do it. If they love it, here we're gonna really work so hard for it.
Oh, I'm sure that the community will absolutely love it. And I'm sure they will just absolutely swamp you after this with another 200 PMs.
Oh, for sure.
You know what we want? I want one thing from Tilty. I want the God camera from Tilty. This one is gonna help our project. You know about the God camera,
Ooh,
right?
you wouldn't be the only
I
one
know
that
what
wants
you
that.
mean.
Yeah, we know
Yes.
about it.
If I get this, the project is gonna be 100% done.
Nice. Absolutely nice. And from what I know of Tilty, if there's any way that he can help, he will do that.
Yeah, but like if that's not really allowed for like normal players, but
Yeah.
if you're not gonna get it, it's fine. We can solve this problem, but it's gonna take a lot of time because we have to make really good scene, and
Yeah.
like a lot of stuff.
I'm sure it's going to work out no matter which way you guys end up going. I'm sure it's going to be a great success. And like I said, I along with the rest of the community will have our collective eyes and heads and fingers set on the forums and keep on scouring the forums in order to find out more information about these two new projects. They sound absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see the finished product. And so the first one will probably be closer to the end of the month, in about 2 weeks' time, you said. But keep an eye on Kat's Twitter. Your handle is Kat at Katarina1, right?
Mm-hmm. TSW_Katrina1.
That's right. So do follow Kat on Twitter in order to find out more about it. And do join us on the forums. Trust us, it's not some dark, murky place that you don't want to visit. Hey, we have pink ponies. And I'm sure Sarity would agree.
Come on, that'll
Yes.
turn
Oh,
people off.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And one other thing that I want to mention as well, guys, don't forget that we are Beyond the Veil is organizing a poetry jam, which is going to take place on the 25th of July. So in 9 days, it is basically poetry readings. You can read it to us live, or you can send us an audio or video of your reading. There is a thread on the forums as well, under the Horn God section, so you can read up on very simple few rules on how to submit your entries, and just let us know what you would like to read, and you can come into our studio and read it live, or you, like I said, you can send us a video or audio submission no more than 3 minutes long. And we are also working on a little surprise for you guys for that time, so hopefully it'll all pan out. More info as we come closer to it. So if you guys are interested in reading poetry, do come and join us. On another note, names of players who won Beyond the Veil in-game shirts during the last live stream have been forwarded to our community management team, and they will be the ones who will be depositing or adding those shirts to your accounts. Being that it's that time of the year when people take vacations, and we know that everybody's busy working on issue 12 release, slated for like 4 weeks away, please do give them extra time in order to add them to your accounts. I would say give them like 2-3 weeks, just in case they are away for 2 weeks on vacation. So don't worry, they will get around to doing it. If they don't do it right away or in the next couple of days, please have a little bit understanding, and they will get deposited into your accounts soon. TM. Alrighty. So Grid Streams, they're still hosting Not Another Summer Selfie competition, right?
That should have finished by now. I believe both.
Was it?
Yeah,
They
both Grid
extended
Stream-
it though. They
They
extended
did.
it.
Oh, cool. I mean, not
It was.
cool because it means there's more competition for me, but good for everyone else.
I forget if they. I think I want to say they extended it to the 22nd, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on the date.
Alrighty, let's see. July 22nd. Yes. At 11. So the deadline is July 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. But I thought I saw RFG also have some sort of a.
Yeah, Radio Free Gaia had a scenery screenshot competition. I believe that one has closed up unless they've also extended it. That one was a nice one as well, so do check that out. Some of the entries to that are fantastic as well.
Cool. Also, happy birthday to Kira Agumi. At least
Yeah,
I
happy
hope I'm,
birthday.
I'm
Yes.
pronouncing your name right. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful day.
Yeah. I think this is the second year for her, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last year we had a party in the Black House, and I think there was some Soul PvP action as well. So they're always
Oh,
good
yeah.
fun, so if you can turn up to a party this year, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting the post that she put up on the forums. I'm not gonna read it now, but yeah, go under the community and the Horn God section, and like if you're new to the game, uh, any kind of social aspect of the game that is taking place, any kind of events, any kind of parties, any kind of gatherings, you will see them being posted under the Horn God section. Horn God, as a lot of you will know, is a club, or rather a bar in London, and lots of RPers actually use it for RP there. And yeah, in case you didn't know, do not go there with your weapons equipped. Hide them. Hide them.
I did that once. And they said, like, put your weapon back. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we did that too, and Xander got yelled at. Yeah, we didn't know. Hey, we don't RP, so sorry. But that's why we make it a point now. We say it. At least now you can just hide them. Before you had to unequip them, and then you go into a dungeon, or you just go questing. Being the glass cannons we were back in the day, you rush into the middle of the mob, and you can expect to see your sword swing, and it's like nothing. It's like, damn it, where's my weapon? Shit.
Oh, I just hide mine. I just
Well,
click so
now
they're
you
hidden.
can. Now you
Oh,
can.
I see what you
Before we
mean.
didn't have that
Okay.
ability, so you had to unequip them.
Oh,
Just think of
Okay,
that
I got
awkward
you now.
moment. Just think of that awkward moment when you go in, there's a party at the Crusades or the Horn God, you go in, and then there's 1,000 RPers screaming at you, why are you bringing an assault rifle to a cocktail party? And then you feel weird, and okay, I'll put it away. And then all of a sudden you get this PM, hey, you want to go into a nightmare dungeon? I'm like, sure, why not? The party's there. And you get all ready, and all of a sudden, boom, your first boss is there. It's like, wait a minute, I'm hitting buttons and it doesn't work. What's going on? How come I'm not hit? Did they
Aw.
drug me? And no, it just turns out I didn't have my weapons on.
Yeah, that was especially fun when we
Just hang out
went
in the
into
corner.
Polaris, and I rushed, being the tank, I rushed to the to the mobs, and it was like nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You
And
know,
everybody, the little mob at the very beginning of Polaris, they just started running after a couple of DPSs who were smart
oh,
enough to equip their weapons. The healer didn't equip it. He was just a mess. But we all ended up having a good laugh about it.
you know what I did do one time? It must have been right after Tokyo Open because I was still trying to get used to Aegis. And I couldn't figure out why no matter what I did, I wasn't tearing down the shields. And I was asking somebody in chat, I want to say it was Ceriti, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I was asking them and we couldn't figure out what it was, couldn't figure it out. I had my weapons in my wrong hands. That's all it was. The weapon that I
Nice.
thought was in one hand, they were swapped. So obviously my controllers were swapped from what I thought they were. Yeah, that's all it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it just took a little bit of getting used to.
Just a little.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So, yeah, we have at this point gone over 2 hours, so it is time to close the show. We could be talking to Kat for quite a bit of time to come, so we hope he'll come back again. Hope you had fun, and hope that our community has found out more about you. And yeah, hopefully they're not gonna be, kind of bugging you even more.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. And really, thank you very much for this interview. And I'm really still happy because of this. And this is really big step for me. And thanks for Twitch, whoever watched the interview. And this is the big day for me. Really, I appreciate that, guys.
Oh, you are absolutely very welcome. Like I said, it's a great fun talking to you and finding out little bits and pieces from one of the players who is considered to be the top of the line. So, and not only that, but you're a great person to talk to and so much fun.
Oh, thank
And
you,
our phone
Tunde.
is going off.
Yeah, it's been good fun chatting with you, mate.
Very much so. I'm so glad you could make it.
And I hope I answer all the question really well, too.
You have. And the thing is, there's still a number of questions that we didn't get around to asking. So that's what I'm saying. Hopefully, you will come back again and join
I
us.
will.
Definitely, especially after you announce your projects, completely. So you'll come back and you'll talk about them more on the show.
I promise. Just send me a PM. I will join immediately. This is really
Awesome.
fun. This is really exciting. I really love it. Thank you very much, guys.
No problem. It's our pleasure. Okay, now, guys and gals of the secret world, that is it for tonight's show. Hopefully, you had fun. Hopefully, you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, please send us either a tweet at BeyondTSW or send us an email, beyondtsw@gmail.com. If you want to catch up with our episodes, catch us on iTunes, Stitcher, or on beyondtsw.com. So there's a whole bunch of different means that you can contact us. So feel free to do so. Of course, if you like us, you can always post a feedback or a comment on either iTunes or Stitcher. Or you can follow twitch.tv/whole-suite-media. In any case, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for listening to us. Have fun with the game. Until next Thursday, right here, same bad time, same bad channel, to use the phrase. We shall see you then. Have fun. Bye.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
In the Thanks for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of Beyond the Veil, a production of Holosuite Media. Join us next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and be sure to check holosuitemedia.com and iTunes for our remastered shows and more. You can follow us on Twitter at BeyondTSW. If you have any questions or comments, please send us an email to beyondtsw@gmail.com, and join us next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of Beyond the Veil, a place where hilarity always ensues.